Hey everybody, it's been a long year and a few months. I believe this was probably the time we were supposed to start recording, but like a year ago.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but as you probably noticed, we have a new set, and that's because I built a new house last year, and we also welcomed our son. So it was a very long year for me, which is kind of why we have had a delay. But without further ado, here we are. We're going to pick up right where we left off. I think it was chapter 10, The Disciplines of Integrity. Overall, I think the chapter was pretty good. The author outlined how important integrity was for Christian men. He talked about, maybe areas where some men might find they're lacking, like their relationships or in their work ethic, for example.
Diving in a little deeper a little bit deeper into the relationships. Just going back into what he was saying about how one of the benefits of integrity was that we have a deeper relationship with God. I think that also extends into our personal relationships, whether it be at work or at home, because when you are a person of integrity, people are willing to trust you, right? If you know that, like, if I know Austin is a person of integrity. I know Austin won't lie to me. I know if Austin says, "Bro, you stink," I stink. And if he says, I can't do the meeting today, something has come up, I know it's something serious enough. It's not just, I'm too lazy, bro.
Yeah, we tried doing it a couple of times. We tried picking up, but it was just rough.
Things
Like the most recent time, I think, like last week, we were going to record. We're like, yeah, we're going to go. We're going to go for realsies this time. And then, like, the night before, my son was up all night. Like, all night. And was just way too tired. And I was like, man, I'm so tired. I can't.
Yeah, like, things happen. That's life, especially when you're a parent. Like, not that I would know, but it happens. Yeah, the author brought up a lot of how integrity is needed in the church, how things like deceit will make the body dysfunctional. He brought up that one of the products of integrity produces godly character. At least you keep a clear conscience, which also helps with your confidence and especially with your relationship to God. If you knowing that, you've done what you can, right? You've kept your integrity the best that you can.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. Yeah, and then allows for a more intimate relationship with God, like we were saying. And yeah. And then he also went into some Bible verses. The one that he brought up that I found a few years ago that really stuck with me was Psalm 15, right? That was a big one for me. That was one of those verses where one of those chapters where like what Paul was saying to Timothy, like this, like the scriptures are profitable for reproof, instruction in righteousness, and all these things. And this one really stuck out to me as instructions for righteousness, because David doesn't go into like extreme detail, but like the ones but he says, like, the ones who will dwell in your tabernacle, O Lord, are the ones who this and this and this, and they shun evil, and the one verse that really, really stuck with me was the righteous will keep their promises even to their own hurt. That was something that really stuck with me. Like, that's a big one. A lot of people won't, like, they'll promise something and then things will change and they'll be like, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah. Rather than just like owning up to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of going through with your promise,
Yeah.
like you had said you would, something comes up either with you or the other party, and suddenly you're just like, I have to back out, or you don't want to anymore, or something.
Yeah.
And
But
then,
I think it depends on the situation. Like, I think if you're going to back out, you should at least be honest with the reason why. Like, bare minimum.
yeah, but I mean, like, if you've learned that this, like, maybe you make a promise to a friend, and then you learn that this promise that you made is going to hurt you in the long run, or it's going to bite you. Maybe you learn that your friend that you're helping move isn't going to pay for your gas.
Yeah, like I said, I guess it would be situational.
Yeah. You're right. It would definitely be situational, but keeping your promises, even though you know that it's going to hurt you, I think is a really big one, right? Did you have any Bible verses you wish to comment on?
Yeah, I did. Back on your comment for the relationships, I think it ties into Proverbs, and I wrote it down because I didn't want to mess it up because I don't have the Bible memorized. I'm sorry. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 9. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes the crooked path will be found out. And I think the reason why I think that ties in with relationships is because, like you said, you know me, I know you. Like if you back out for something because you don't want to, but you tell me something else, I'm fairly confident I know you well enough that I could call you out on it if you did that. But you don't, so you don't really have to worry about being found out because you're not telling a lie. You're not misconstruing or construing the. What word am I trying to think of? Misconstruing? I don't think that's a word. You're not distorting the truth. Let's go with that one.
Will work. That will work.
So you don't really have to worry about it because you don't have anything to hide if you're not hiding anything.
Exactly. And then when something comes up, like you were saying, right? If something happens and you say I can't, people will believe you, right?
Yeah.
If you say I need help, people will believe that you need help, and then you're not just looking for a free handout, or you're just I want somebody to do my yard work for me because I hurt myself.
Yeah.
And I think that your Proverbs, was it 10?
10:9, yeah.
10:9 also ties in really well with Proverbs 11 verses 3. The integrity of the upright will guide them, but the perversity of the unfaithful will destroy them.
Yeah, that verse is pretty cut and dry. It's
Yeah, like it's
hold yourself and be have integrity, or else. But I think it makes sense, though. I mean, especially in today's day and age, where it's so easy to just not be truthful,
it almost seems like you can get
hide
ahead.
whatever you want,
Yeah, it almost
and
seems
get ahead doing it.
Yeah. It almost seems like you can get ahead by lying.
Yeah,
Backstabbing is just like the way to go.
yeah, which sucks. Really,
Like
it makes it. I think it makes it. I don't want to say it makes it hard for us because that's kind of a cop out, but I think it makes it more tempting for Christians to maybe not hold themselves to that standard because it's, well, everybody else is doing it. It's just business.
yeah, that was actually one of the lines that that the author used was, like this. That's just how business is done, right?
Yeah.
It's just like it might be how business is done, but it doesn't mean that's how it's supposed. Like that doesn't mean that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I made a few other notes. I'm just going through them because I don't want to miss anything. Because there's a lot of context in this chapter. I think some of the examples may be a little bit showing their age, but if we take the concepts of what the author was trying to capture, I think he did a good job capturing the importance of integrity.
Yeah, I agree. There were some examples that, maybe at first glance, maybe because we're so young, I looked at it and I was like, is
Can't
that really
relate.
such a big deal?
Yeah.
But then, I mean, like, if you really do think about it, if you get into the technicality of what it is, yes, it's wrong,
Yeah.
realistically speaking.
Yeah, for sure. But after I read the chapter for the third time, because we were gonna start up a couple of times, okay, and it was a few months in between.
Yeah. Something
But-
we're ready. Okay, I'll reread it.
Yeah, for real this time. But no, after I read it, I decided to hit the googly goos and search up verses to kind of see what the Bible had to say. And I didn't just look up a single translation. I was looking across a couple. So I was looking at NIV, New King James, like a few of them, just to see different translations of the verses, because there's some in New King James where it doesn't explicitly say the word integrity, but then in NIV it does. But basically, what I kind of summed it up to was that the Bible shows us living with integrity pleases God, and it leads to security by building trust and confidence in our relationships and our decisions. It helps us with guidance because integrity helps us make clear and wise decisions. And then also blessing. Living a life in integrity will result in positive outcomes in our spiritual and daily lives. And then there was also Proverbs chapter 20, verse 7 that says, the righteous man walks with integrity and his children are blessed after him.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was interesting because there was so many references to integrity within the Bible that maybe I never caught the first couple of times around, and then looking at the different translations, kind of like, yeah, I see it. Even when you go back to the translation that I'm used to, which is New King James, I can still see it. Like, might not say the word integrity, but it's definitely implied.
Yeah, like, and I think a lot of the Psalms and the Proverbs, they talk a lot about integrity, but they don't say integrity. They say the righteous.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of like the righteous will this. This is instructions and for righteousness and instructions for like how to maintain your integrity. Right. These are integral things. These are good things. Right. And speaking of blessing, we can also take a look at Job. Job was a man of integrity, of whom God said there is no one like him on the earth. But he was a man of integrity, and God, and in his time, he was one of the wealthiest people around. He had livestock, he had servants. He ate the best of the best. But it also says he was a helper of widows, a father to the fatherless.
Yeah, very generous.
Very generous and very kind, a man of integrity. He would, his children would have banquets and such, and at the end of their banquets, he would wake up early in the morning and consecrate his children and offer sacrifices for them on their behalf because he feared God and loved his children to that extent. And he was, even in the end of the book, right? Like, all these terrible things happened. All his friends came and they beat him over the head with their words, and God still restored him. Was it twofold or sevenfold? Like, he restored him.
Yeah.
Like, if Job wasn't rich before, he was super rich then.
Yeah, God multiplied it after.
All because he wanted to maintain his integrity. Because he feared God and shunned evil.